Hello again. Not from my front porch. I'm actually in Lawrence, Kansas. Unmistakably Lawrence. Why am I in Lawrence, Kansas, might you ask? If you're asking, you don't understand that this is where Sam and Dean Winchester are from on the show Supernatural. Well, I mean, the characters are supposedly from Lawrence, Kansas. The show, of course, is filmed in Vancouver. so you won't actually find anywhere here in Lawrence that is from the show, because they don't actually come to Lawrence and film it. It's just the characters, the mythology is that they're from, you know, like Captain Kirk will be from Riverside, Iowa. But anyway, so I was coming back from our Wichita office, going back home to Des Moines, and the route takes me right by Lawrence, and I thought, why not? Why not stop in Lawrence? And then while I'm here, enhance my shot glass collection with my unmistakably Lawrence shot glass, which they sell here for $5 at this nifty visitors center that they have here in Lawrence, Kansas. Check this place out. It is an old vintage train depot that was refurbished, restored. The outside is restored. Inside, they've made it a beautiful community center. I was having a great conversation with a guy named Keith in there who was staffing there. He gave me a lot of really great information. Like, for example, what I thought was really interesting is, and it kind of is a fun tie-in with the whole Supernatural thing again as well, is that the city emblem, the city seal for Lawrence, has a phoenix in it, because early on in Lawrence's history, the city was burned down twice. Very early on, and recovered, rebuilt both times, and so their emblem contains a phoenix rising out of the ashes. Of course, if you watch Supernatural, you know that there is an episode where they get sent back in time to the Old West and they encounter a phoenix, you know, and they have to collect the ashes. So I just thought that was kind of fun, kind of amusing and interesting. But the show, I read an article at one point somewhere that said the show producers said they chose Lawrence, Kansas as the home for the characters of Sam and Dean Winchester, because outside of town there's a cemetery. And I was talking with Keith inside about this as well. He said it's called Stull Cemetery, and that they're somehow at some point in the past, that cemetery became known as being a gateway to hell. Seriously. And he said he lives about half a mile away from it. So I asked him if he had ever experienced any hell gateway experiences. He said no, none that he could think of. But we did have an interesting conversation about various individuals that claim to have had experience with ghosts or you know, strange things happening in their homes. And so it's funny how that all circled back around. But here in Lawrence, at this train depot, back here you can see the rail lines are back there and everything. Back there on those rail lines, Keith was telling me that on that train line that's where presidents, Teddy Roosevelt, and I think Truman was another one. But the presidents running for office, this is where their trains stopped for them to do campaigning in the days before social media, when a campaign could just buy some ads to show up on Facebook or on Twitter or wherever. That was social media, stopping at the train station. So anyway, I'm here at this visitor center in Lawrence. It's fantastic, beautiful, beautiful place inside. And they do lots of cool stuff. But again, I couldn't stop and see anything supernatural related, because there's nothing here for that, since the show isn't actually filmed here. But now I can say that I've been to Lawrence, Kansas, and I'll even be able to add the Lawrence, Kansas shot glass to my collection, so that I'm able to show that I've been to the hometown of Sam and Dean, and my kids will be so thrilled that I was able to have this wonderful experience. But again, my thanks to Keith inside at the visitor center, and to the visitor center, the tourist people here in Lawrence, Kansas. You have done a fantastic job of capturing your community's history inside. Some really great stuff about a lot of the history that's taken place here. And again, I would encourage you, if you're ever in this area, make sure you stop in and check the visitor center, and from there they'll give you a lot of advice of other places you can go around here to see all kinds of stuff. Some things you might not really fully appreciate that came from Lawrence, like basketball, for example. If you like basketball, this is where it started, and they've got that all set up here. A whole bunch of other stuff. So do yourself a favor, stop in here sometime. I've enjoyed being here. I might stop back in sometime, but now I'm going to hit the road and head back home to Des Moines. All right, until next time, from my front porch.